The blue-white scrimmage happened on Saturday, and the improved talent and depth was on full display. But hang on just a second. Don't tell anyone outside of Chapel Hill how good Carolina is. They all think we're bad. Just let it ride.
This is Tyler Hansbrough, and you're listening to Locked on Tar Heels.
You are Locked on Tar Heels, your daily podcast on the UNC Tar Heels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, what's up? It's Monday, October 6th, 2025. Welcome into the Locked On Tar Heels podcast, the only daily North Carolina show out there. I'm your host, Isaac Schade. You're joining me at the place to get your Tar Heels content every single day. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I want to thank you for making us your first listener watch to get that Monday going the right way, baby. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you're going to get $300 back in bonus bets to use all across the app. Download it and get started today. Special shout out goes to all the everydayers here with us, all the members of the Locked On Tar Heels Discord. What's up to you guys, as well as our great Locked On Tar Heels insiders. All of those links are in the show notes. Come join us. On the show today, it is 4 weeks till the regular season tips off for men's college basketball, D1 at least. We did a live rewatch, Coach Rob and I did, of Saturday's blue-white scrimmage. We did that on Sunday. If you want to watch it back, I'll link it up here in the corner so you can check it out and watch that back. For those of you watching on YouTube, if you're listening on audio, you can find it in the audio feed. Lots of fun, really enjoyable. We're going to try to do that again for the Cherokee scrimmage as well. But today, I want to settle down and provide 10 takeaways from Isaac to you from that scrimmage. We'll do that. Also, some football thoughts centered around how the Mac Brown era was buoyed by Sam Howell and Drake Maye. Oh my goodness, Drake Maye. And how that covered a multitude of sins. We'll talk about that, plus the weekend whip to wrap it all up. All right, so 10 takeaways from the blue and white scrimmage. Number one, you guys, Caleb Wilson can get whatever he wants whenever he wants. This dude's superior length and athleticism is on full display. I mean, it's absurd, quite frankly. The key now is going to be, obviously this is a scrimmage, right? I guess I should put that disclaimer on all of it. It's a scrimmage. They're not running much stuff. They're you know, there's a lot of freewheeling, which you love to see that, but it's not like a locked in regular season game. So let's take all of this with at least some tiny grain of salt. But the key right now for Caleb Wilson is going to be learning, like, oh, now I'm still the guy, but I'm one of the guys. And lots of guys can make a shot. And so I've got to learn what is the right shot at the right moment. So for example, a 17-footer just beyond the free throw line with 22 seconds on the shot clock. You can get that. Caleb Wilson, you're so good. You can get that shot literally anytime you want. And so, yeah, later in the shot clock, when somebody's got to get one up, do it. Absolutely. But shot selection is going to be a big part of Caleb Wilson's progression as a college basketball player. But again, he can get anything at any time. And already starting to see the array that he's got in his bag. We've heard, obviously, that he's been working. Sean May's been working with him on a little hook, and we got to see that. The dude just wants to dunk everything inside. I love it. He came, pulled down a rebound, came back up, one-handed jam, tried to dunk another one on the next possession down the floor. Caleb, everywhere all the time, and the superior athleticism, man. If he's hitting shots from the outside to go with all that, it's over. It's over. That's number one. Caleb Wilson can get whatever he wants whenever he wants it, and I'm here for that. Number two, it was our first opportunity to see Luka publicly, and the dude has such a quick trigger. He's ready to go at a moment's notice, right? It is a clear and obvious sign to me of somebody who has played at a higher level of basketball and understands all that urgency with which you have to get shots off against superior athletes and more savvy veteran athletes who have been doing it for a lot longer. And the understanding that I'm a good enough shooter that if I keep shooting, enough of them are going to fall where the averages are going to come out and we're going to win basketball games. In contrast to Caleb's superior athleticism, that's not Luka's game. Not that Luka's a bad athlete, but he's not elite uber athlete. But man, he can get a shot off and he can get off quick. It is quick trigger. It's smooth. It's repeatable. And the spacing that's going to allow is phenomenal. And, there's been question of like, oh man, like somebody asked this last week, I feel like it was, RJ's gone. Who's your shooter? Because I don't know that you got one. Well, also, you need multiple shooters in this day and age. It can't just be RJ. We saw the fallacy of that the past 2 years when either he was off or he was shut down. But Luka is your guy. To me, yes, Kyan Evans is going to shoot at a high percentage from deep. It's about Luka. You got him. Luka is your main 3-point shooter. Now you just got to get him cleared by the NCAA, for crying out loud. Come on, make this happen. We'll see. And as expected, we heard this last week, but again, I'll just remind us all, we're looking at what it'll be as 2 years of eligibility when that is done. Number 3 in our 10 takeaways. Luka's the shooter. But here's the good news for Carolina. He is by no means the only reliable shooter, right? Like in the past, maybe you worry, hey, if RJ's threes aren't falling, it's not going to be Elliott. Sometimes it'll be Seth. Drake Powell was able to hit him last year at a pretty good volume, but a low percent, I got that completely backwards. At a pretty good percentage, but not a high volume. Ian was kind of streaky, right? Like, and so there was all that. This year, when you look at it, Kyan Evans is a phenomenal 3-point shooter. Jonathan Powell is, goodness, it just looks, when these dudes are shooting, it just looks better. You saw Henri step out and take them a couple different times. You saw Zayden High make one. You saw him step out and take them. Caleb Wilson's going to do it. Seth Trimble's going to do it. It's just the shooting capability of this team should, right, like on paper, and from what we saw Saturday, it's going to be there. Is that sustainable night after night? Absolutely not. But you feel like, because of the number of shooters you have, if it's an off night for one, 2 others are going to be on. And you got to find them. That's the key. You got to find who that is. But I love that Luka is your shooter, and he's my go-to. If I need a 3, I'm drawing it up for Luka. But I feel very comfortable with multiple other players taking it, and we've not always been able to say that. Number 4 from the 10 takeaways. There are so many more offensive options on this team. Yes, we were just talking about that with 3-point shooting, but I mean in totality. You got guys that can shoot. You got guys that can drive and finish. You got free throw shooters. You got mid-range guys. You got float game. You got bouncy dudes. Like, we just talked about it with Caleb. We saw it with Seth early in the game. Missed a little floater in the lane. That second jump is so quick, and it's going right back in. If you're whomever Carolina is playing, if you're the opposition, good luck with your scouting report. Good luck with your game planning, because you got to decide who's going to guard who, and that's leaving somebody open. You want to focus on stopping Caleb Wilson? Cool. Please do so. And then Luke is going to burn you, or Kyan, or whomever. Like, how many times last year did you and I always talk about together the lack of best practice roster construction last year, right? Like, it just wasn't there. This year, the way these players are going to complement each other, and I don't, complement in like the way a husband and wife complement each other in their strengths and weaknesses. Not like, oh, jolly good shot, chap. Not like I'm offering you a compliment, but the way that compliment is so encouraging to me. And again, sure, not everyone's going to be on every night, but somebody will be. I find it very hard to believe that everyone's going to be on a cold streak every night. And the good thing about this team, and we're just going to keep coming back to this over and over and over again, is now not only is that talent and offensive capability there, but so is the length and height. And it's good. Number 5 on our 10 takeaways from the blue-white scrimmage. There's so many more offensive options on this team, but boy, is the same true on defense. That's number 5. Coach Rob and I talked about the defense just last week on our regular Thursday show with Coach Rob, that this team, our big question was, can this team be the best defensive team of the Hubert Davis era? And while there's no way right now to say definitively yes or no, it's going to be a conversation. I think right now, the best defensive team was 2 years ago when Carolina was a 1 seed. This team, if they buy in, and that's what it's about, man, buy in, deciding to guard as a team, communicating, verbally, talking, that's what's going to do it. But they've got the pieces in place to be there. The height, the length, the athleticism. I mean, just go back and watch the blue-white scrimmage and then go back and watch a game from last year. The difference in the length, the athleticism, the willingness to get down and guard, it's just different, man. It's already different. And what the thing is that's early October. I'm expecting to see a massive defensive progression as this season goes along. There's actual rim protection. So that, like, if I'm Seth Trimble now, I can say, oh, I've got Caleb behind me. I've got Henri behind me. I've got Jarin behind me, whomever it is. And so I've actually got rim protection. So that allows me to get more up into your jelly and stop you from doing what you're doing on the perimeter. And then it's about help and rotations and recovering and doing whatever you got to do if he gets beat. But it's there, man. All the pieces are in place for this to be a dynamic defensive team. They just got to buy in. But you see the possibilities on both sides of the court. And that is why, I joked in the cold open of like, hey, look, everyone outside of Chapel Hill thinks this team is brutal and C- and off-season grades and all that stuff. Awesome. Keep talking that. Let it go. In Carolina, just come on, man. Get it together and show them what's going to happen. All right. That's the first 5 of our 10 takeaways from the blue-white scrimmage. We got the back half coming up in just a second, including Kyan Evans can absolutely be the lead guard for this team. We'll get to that next in just a second. Right after I tell you about Peloton, who is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move. So whether you're running, you're lifting, or cross-training, you can do it with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan and stay motivated and reach your peak performance. I love how the Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching. It tracks your reps, suggests the real weights for you. I'm so bad at knowing what weight I should actually do. And it corrects your form, making sure that every rep is both safer and smarter. And they've got personalized class recommendations for you to help make sure that you stay engaged. You get workouts tailored to your vibe and your energy level every week. So let yourself run and lift and flex and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. 10 takeaways from the blue-white scrimmage. Here is number 6. There's been a lot of, can Kyan Evans do this? He's not a true point guard like Elliot Cadeau was. You saw it on Saturday. Kyan Evans can do it. He gets where he wants. He knocks down shots. He's going to get the team aligned. He's hard-nosed. He gets after it. He's a smart basketball player. You heard him in his media availability a couple weeks ago. I feel very comfortable with it. Is he going to do it in the same way as Elliot Cadeau? No. Does he have to? No. No, he does not. Because there are other players around him that can do some of that. Kyan Evans doesn't have to be the sole playmaker for this team. In fact, it's often better when you don't have one person that's like, you're our playmaker. Nobody else can do it. Oh my goodness, right? Like, no. So many guys on this team. You saw the willingness to share it around, and that's good. Kyan Evans, though, can be the lead guard for this team. Number 7, pick your front court poison, man. I was assuming that they were going to split up and we'll have Henri Veesaar on one team and Caleb Wilson on the other team, but they kept them together. And I was so glad, man, because it was a glimpse of what this front court's going to be. And I, again, tell you, pick your poison, because you know what? Get your best front court defender, put him on Henri Veesaar, let him go to work. All right, congratulations. Caleb Wilson just dropped 20 on you, right? Like, yeah. Or, maybe you're like, I don't know, Caleb Wilson's the uber talented rookie. Let's put our best front court defender on him. Great. Good for you. Henri Veesaar is going lob dunk all over you all day long. He's going to score over you. He's going to block your shots. He's not going to get like 47 rebounds. That's not his game. But he doesn't have to, because there's a whole bunch of Tar Heels that can do it. So I just, as I sat and envisioned, like, how many front courts, not just the ACC, but nationwide, are going to have the potency to match both of those guys and Jarin Stevenson when he comes in, or Zayden High, or whatever it is behind them? Not many. Some might match it, but most are going to be short of it, and almost no one will exceed it. I'm very excited to see them in action. Number 8. A lot of people have said it. A lot of the players addressed it post-game. The turnovers, yes, that's a concern in this moment. But let's remember some context as well. One, you didn't have Derek Dixon in this game, right? It sounds like he's going, like, had he played in this scrimmage, he's probably the lead guard for the blue team that Seth Trimble did. That takes Seth off the ball, allows him to just do what he does best. And so that's part of it. Another part is it's a scrimmage. It's a scrimmage. It's an all-star game. Dude's throwing the balls around. It just happens. Now, if we see that again in the Cherokee scrimmage at this level and BYU and Winston-Salem State, all right, then there's some cause for concern. But that's one of the joys now of having not just the 2 exhibition opportunities, but now Carolina's doing 4 this offseason. So by the time you get to Central Arkansas on Monday, November 3rd, 4 weeks from today, come on. Or by the time you host Kansas 4 days later, the Friday the 7th, the first Friday of the season, you should have a little more of that in line and ready to go. So if it persists, all right, then it becomes a conversation, right? There's some silly ones. Coach Rob talked about those, like, for example, the one that stands out to me, and I remember it just because we were laughing about it as we did the live rewatch. Caleb Wilson from like the top of the key, maybe it was closer to the free throw line, threw a bullet one-hand pass that barely missed a cheerleader's head. Oh man, sister would have been down for the count had it got her square. But it's like, just be smarter than that, right? And I think we remember those because we've seen a lot of those type of just dumb turnovers the past couple years, right? You can live with turnovers because Carolina plays fast. What I don't want to see is the careless turnovers because you're trying to make too fancy of a play or to be too cute with the ball or whatever it is. Make the right play. You know, we're human. We make physical mistakes sometimes. I get that. Just don't make dumb ones. And that's what we're going to watch. So turnovers, sure, a little bit of concern. We'll talk about it if it becomes more of a concern. Number 9 on our takeaways. While the turnovers might be a bit of a concern, the way this team shares the basketball is a thing of beauty, man. Yes, again, and we talked about it with Kyan being able to be the lead guard. He does not have to average 7 assists a game. 3, that's perfect because Seth's going to dish out 3. From what we saw, Jaden Young, you know, if he's getting time, it's going to be hard for him to probably get some time. But when he does, showed a great willingness on Saturday to keep the rock moving. The bigs sharing the ball. Luka, obviously, is somebody that can do it. He got a little wild and out of control at times. But, man, the team has a lot of players that can initiate and play make. We saw Henri rip and run and swung it to the right sideline. I guess it wasn't really the wing or the corner. Back up to Kyan Evans on the wing. Boom. Buckets. Like that inversion of typical what you're used to, right? Like the point guard brings it up. Big rim running. You get it to him for the dunk. Henri ran the break. Comes back to Kyan for the 3. That's what this team can do. Now, I don't know that you want Henri leading the break all the time, but if and when it makes sense to, green light, buddy, knock it out. Or, man, there was another possession. Coach, and I actually rewound it and watched it, I think, 3 times on the live rewatch. It was moved around. I think it was Kyan to maybe Caleb over to Jaden Young. Instead of attacking the closeout, he kind of pump faked the closeout, swung it one more time to the corner for a Jonathan Powell 3. And, I mean, it's just like with the shooters you got on this team, if you can keep moving the ball, you're going to find a good look. Or you're going to find somebody wide open inside because they're having to recover to all these shooters. It's just move the ball, find the shot. This team can do that, and I was encouraged by some of that on the rewatch on Sunday. And then number 10 takeaway. One of the things I had said early last week that I was curious to watch for is with Van Allen Lubin out the door to NC State, he would have been the primary backup 5, obviously. So the question is, who is that? Because it really feels like Jarin Stevenson is really more somebody that should be playing those minutes at the 4, maybe even the 3 if necessary. If he has to play 5 and you're going small, cool, totally get it, but I don't think he should be the primary guy there. And so that means it's kind of between Zayden High and James Brown. from what we saw on Saturday, I give round 1 to Zayden High. Like it's almost like scorecard keeping. And obviously Coach Davis always talks about it's about what they do in practice. And so this is all we're going to see is these exhibitions. This one, the one in Cherokee, which is not going to be streamed, but hopefully it'll go on YouTube and then we can do more of this. The BYU exhibition is going to be on ESPN on that Friday night. I cannot wait for that. Right. And so a lot of opportunities, but I thought Zayden had the edge on James Brown in this one, right? Hit at least 1-3, had a nice finish inside, was active like we had seen previously. And that's what you're looking for in these moments. It's not just about the superstars. It's not just about Caleb and Luka and Henry. It's about who are the depth pieces going to be, because those are so critical game in, game out, practice in, practice out, and through the course of a long season as guys get nicked and cut up, right? And so, man, just want to see them keep pushing, right? Like Jaden Young, I think Coach Rob said it on the live rewatch. He's somebody that's probably going to get a little elbowed out just because the backcourt is so full. But I thought he showed himself well, for what Carolina needs him to do. And so that's the thing, man. Right now for me, Zayden has the edge on James for backup 5 minutes. Last two things, these aren't part of our 10, but again, really bummed Derek Dixon didn't get to play in this one, just because of all the kind of groundswell around him lately. Would have been really nice to see, but wisely not playing him when you shouldn't. Same with Ivan Matlakovich, same with Isaiah Dennis. But hopefully those guys are back for the other scrimmages and exhibitions. And then thankfully, unlike last year, you stay away from any big injuries in this one. Last year, RJ Davis gets hurt. This time, nobody does. And so the goal is, Coach and I had a lot of fun with that rewatch. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, again, I linked it earlier. You should go back and watch that, because we just kind of provided like director's cut commentary over the whole game. That was a lot of fun. Took comments because we were doing it live. The plan is, again, because the Cherokee one is another non-licensed game, we can do the same thing with that. So we'll look to do that maybe Sunday, October 19th. So stay alert for that. All right. We need to get to a little bit of football. We got to get to the weekend whip around, celebrate Drake Maye's big win on Sunday night. Good grief. We'll do all that to wrap the show coming up in just a second. Right after I tell you about Square, you need to know that so many of your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. And there really are just these certain businesses that make the neighborhood feel like home. Whether it's the local sports bar that's packed on game day, it's that coffee shop that you walk into and they immediately know your name and your order and start working on it. Or maybe it's that corner deli that's been faithfully serving your community for decades, man. Those are the places that bring people together. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. What does that look like? Well, spending money there isn't just about supporting the business. It's about supporting the people behind it and the community around it. Those local spots are what make the neighborhood feel like home, and so many of them you got to know run on Square. Some examples: Hawthorne and Wood right there in Chapel Hill area. I know it's not local, but man, I love Shake Shack. There's that Shake Shack right out Franklin. It's just so good, man. I love it. And these places run on Square, who is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses all over the globe. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege right now to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square. See you in the neighborhood. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Oh man, the NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you're not going to want to miss. Right now, new customers who bet just $5, you get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. And when you use FanDuel, whether it's parlays, player props, even jumping in on the action live, man, it makes watching football so much more exciting because you got a little bit extra riding on the game. So whether you're a casual fan or kind of a nerd like me and you love diving into the stats of it all, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. How about some ACC basketball regular season odds? Duke leads the way at +155, followed by Louisville at +220, then the Tar Heels, a big gap to Carolina at +700, and then State at +750. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the action. Visit FanDuel.com to download the app today and get started. Saturday, another embarrassing Power 4 loss, 38-10 against a scuffling Clemson team that previously couldn't play any offense, and now they suddenly can. And, Saturday in our live postcast, you can go back and watch that. We unpacked a lot of the numbers. We unpacked a lot of the issues and problems. And there's something I've been thinking a lot about since then. And I can't remember if I said it on the postcast, but I said it to somebody. Maybe it was in real life this weekend, like at church or something like that, of, in a lot of ways, this all just starts with the fact that whether it's Gio Lopez or Max Johnson or, or Newkirk or Bryce Baker, and those guys haven't really had opportunities yet. There's just no Sam Howell or Drake Maye. And I've been processing a lot the way in which we shouldn't underestimate the difference makers that those two young men were in covering a lot of sins during the Mac Brown 2.0 era. And by that, I mean, there might have been higher levels of talent, maybe at some of the positions or whatever it was. But how truly dissimilar were those teams from the talent Carolina has now? And by that, I mean, say you insert Drake Maye onto this team. I still don't think they're 5-0, maybe not even 4-1, but I bet they would have beat maybe UCF, because Drake Maye is that much of a difference maker. And so what I've been trying to reckon with is, how much does a Drake Maye make up for? How much does Carolina not having that under center this year be a major flaw to this team? Because last year you didn't have that consistency, but then Jacoby Criswell comes in, you land on him because he does enough, and then you just ride Omarion Hampton. You don't have that either. You don't have either safety net. Damon Juju Jr., it seems like he's going to be really good, but he's a freshman. And, I think this is a big thing, that both Sam Howell and Drake Maye covered a lot of sins. And obviously it doesn't fix everything, but let's not forget how flawed those Drake Maye teams were defensively, where Carolina had to outscore App State. You're not going to really stop them, but you're going to have to outscore them. And Drake was able to do that. And so I think that is a big factor, is like, how much of a chain reaction is it if you put Drake Maye in, and then that opens up the offense more because he can use his legs or his arm or whatever, and then it makes everyone else look better. And then it lets the defense rest longer, and so they can be more dynamic and effective when they're on the field. You see what I'm saying? And so the whole chain reaction down the way makes the team look better. I'm wrestling with that a lot. Carolina needs a dynamic quarterback, and everywhere else, and they need experience, and they got to get it right. But for now, you just got to accept this is not a good football team. Just plain and simple. But they're trying to build towards something, and they're working on it. So yes, another embarrassing loss Saturday. But now you've got another chance where you've got your last open week of the season before a 7-game run of ACC games to end the regular season. And again, as the whole schedule is, it's flip-flop back and forth, away, home, away, home, away. So it's at Cal, and then it's back home, and then you just see what you can do. Can you steal a game? Duke just went out and beat Cal. Obviously, they look like a different team offensively because they've got Mensa, right? He's a different kind of quarterback than Carolina has. But that's what you got to do. Rest up, keep working, keep driving forward, and keep knowing that you're building towards something, and that'll be that. Speaking of Drake Maye, oh my goodness. Did you watch Sunday Night Football? That was his NFL arrival moment, man. Going into Buffalo and knocking off the final remaining NFL undefeated team this season. Just a complete baller. Made some of the circus type throws we saw in Chapel Hill those couple years, connecting with Steph Diggs. There was it wasn't left-handed like that touchdown against Pitt, but it was getting drugged down in the fourth quarters. They're starting one of their last drives to try to win the game. Basically, it looked like he was going to have to take a sack or just throw it away, and somehow scoots it out to Steph Diggs. There was a throw earlier breaking away to Steph, like at the 2 or 3 yard line. The angle from behind it, you need to go find that. It's just insanity what Drake Maye is continuing to do against even higher level competition. Good grief. There's just not enough to say about him. And we tried to tell everyone leading up, don't take Caleb Williams number 1. But front offices just get all up in their heads, and overthink it. Don't overthink it. Look at what the kid can do and go rack them up. Instead, the Patriots getting congrats to the Pats. You were not dumb, right? And now you've got Drake Maye. So there you go. Jaden, I couldn't quibble with that. Him and Drake, I just feel like they should have been 1 and 2 in some order with Caleb behind both of them. That's my take on it. Anyway, some recruiting news over the weekend. We already knew that Carolina was out on Cole Clore. He commits to NC State. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't want it, man. I love Cole Clore's game. I wanted him at Carolina. Sucks that he's at State, but now let's go beat him, right? That's the flip on it. So there you go. All right, Project 28 weekend whip around. Project 28, because we want to support all 28 of Carolina's varsity athletic sports. Women's soccer now 9-4, 3-2 on the season. We talked about it on Friday's show, but they beat BC 3-1. And then on Sunday, they beat Pitt 3-1. Olivia Thomas had a hand in all 3 goals, assisted on the first 2 and scored the final one. Great stuff there by the ladies, now 3-2 in ACC play. And let's get cracking. They're getting it going. Men's soccer, we talked about it. They beat Louisville. No, we hadn't talked about it because we haven't recorded since then. They won at Louisville on Friday. Finally an ACC win, but they also don't have any ACC losses. They are now 1-0-4 in ACC play, 5-1-4 on the season. Carolina scored in the 10th minute. That was literally the only goal of the game. And now they have a 6-game unbeaten streak. Isn't that funny? They've only won 1 ACC game, but because of all those ties, they haven't been beaten in 6 games. And now they have 3 straight out-of-conference games before getting back to ACC play in 2 weeks. It's going to start tomorrow down in Nashville with a match at Lipscomb, 7 p.m. Eastern. Field hockey goes out of conference as well this weekend. Wins at Old Dominion 4-1. Back in action next weekend with the trip to Charlottesville on Friday. Volleyball. I love what the ladies are doing. 11-2 overall, 4-0 in ACC play. And here's the thing. Those 4 wins in ACC play, their last 4 matches beat Wake, State, Duke, and Duke. They beat Duke last Wednesday 3-0 at home, went to Duke on Saturday, swept them again 3-0 and killed them. 25-14, 25-17, and 25-23 were the set scores. In those 4 matches against the other ACC North Carolina schools, Carolina dropped exactly 1 set. That was to State. They swept Wake and Duke both times they played Duke. Great stuff. The ladies head down to Clemson and Atlanta next weekend for Clemson and Georgia Tech. And cross country had the Loyola Lakefront Invitational on Friday. The women didn't compete as a team, had a couple down, but the men finished 6th out of 14th. Colton Sands and Timur Turagano finished 2nd and 3rd, but the rest of the guys, next best finish with 36, and so that wasn't good enough, but good showing by those 2 individuals there. All right, guys, that's the Monday show. Great to be together. If you didn't check out the live rewatch, make sure you go back and do that. We've got another great week of shows lined up. ACC tip-off is this week for the men and women, so we'll have some stuff from that. On Wednesday, we have our final roster preview. That'll be Luka Bogavac. Josh Marlowe's joining me for that. We'll have Coach Rob on Thursday, and then RL Bynum's going to join me on Friday's show. He's going to tip-off, and so we're going to do some takeaways at that point. So another great week of shows. Looking forward to it. If you haven't subscribed to the show on video and audio, do that now so you don't miss a second. If you've not joined the Discord or the Insiders, man, you're missing out. It's a great way to get more involved with the show. Those links are in the show notes. It's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll talk again tomorrow, but until then, peace.